Honestly, why do people insist on drinking stuff like raw milk? It's dirty, it's disgusting, it's full of bacteria. It's like, why? Why do people do that? It's, I mean, we're in a civilized culture now, aren't we? Where you can drink something that's cleaner and safer. Can somebody please answer that for me? Why? Oh, wait. I'm one of them. Right, so before we look at raw milk, let's have a look at the standard milk that you'll find in the average shop, which is pasteurized and homogenized. So, pasteurized milk is milk that has been heated up and cooled very quickly, and this is done in order to destroy any bad bacteria and pathogens and things like that that can be found in milk. So, obviously, that is something good. You do not want bad bacteria going into your body. And homogenization has to do with breaking up of fat cells within the cream of the milk to stop it from forming a cream layer at the top. So when it comes to these processes, obviously it comes across as very good. I mean, you don't want anything bad in your milk. You want to make sure that milk is safe to consume, and milk has been pasteurized for about the last 135 years because it can make people very sick to consume um, milk that has not been pasteurized. So this then will obviously bring you to the question of, why do people drink raw milk? And the people that drink raw milk will be people such as me. I've been drinking raw milk for approximately the last 12 years. I was not aware of raw milk before that time. I actually came across raw milk watching a video that someone was doing with regards to overcoming cancer naturally, and one of the things that got brought up was raw milk. I didn't know really what it was. I looked into it, and so I was curious to try it, and I found out that there was a farm that was nearby that sold raw milk. So I started buying it from there, and pretty much I've been converted since then. With having raw milk, we still do buy pasteurized milk where we are now, but I only do so because um, we like to heat our milk up when we make coffee, and I don't like heating up raw milk purely because raw milk is just such a lovely form of milk to drink. It is delicious, it's healthy, and it's just very creamy that I just can't stand the thought of the milk getting ruined in the microwave. So I buy your standard shop milk, but I do buy it organic, which is for me is a little bit better than non-organic. Yeah, so we've been drinking it for the past 12 years. We have in that time moved to Ireland, and I have found a farm here that also sells raw milk. So I go to this farm once a week when the raw milk is available, and I buy our week's supply of the milk. Right, so now getting to the question of why would people drink raw milk if it's got the potential of having bad bacteria in. So the thing is that obviously when you're drinking raw milk, you've got to make sure that you're getting raw milk from a reputable source. You can't just, go down to someone down the road who just kind of sits on a milking stool, like squirts the milk into a dirty bucket and throws it into a bottle and gives it to you to take home. No, you've got to make sure you need to get it from a reputable source. And before I carry on with that, just to look at the homogenization process when they kind of break up the fat from the cream up so that it doesn't form a layer. One of the reasons from what I've heard that this is not good for you is because it's the homogenization process that can cause lactose intolerance in people. And a study I read a number of years ago said that people who are lactose intolerant, 80% of them can actually tolerate raw milk because it's the homogenization that causes the intolerance. So so apparently people who are lactose intolerant can actually tolerate raw milk, whereas they can't tolerate your standard milk in the shop. So anyway, moving along, talking about the benefits of raw milk. So raw milk has actually got a lot of goodness in it, and because of the pasteurization process, um, breaks down the goodness that's in the milk and it kills the good bacteria. So when you're drinking milk, I mean, when I was growing up, it was about drinking milk is good for you and all the calcium and things like that. But the problem is, by the time you get the milk from the shop, the milk has been corrupted. There really is not a lot of goodness in your standard shop bought milk. So that milk that we're giving to our kids and we're telling them drink this up, there really isn't much goodness in it. It's purely just there to flavor our coffee and to use to have our cereal with. So I prefer to have something that at least has some sort of health benefits. And also because raw milk has still got a lot of good bacteria in it, it's very good for our gut health. So like I said, as long as you're getting it from a reputable place, then that's fine. Then you can, safely consume it. When I was getting my raw milk in South Africa, I was chatting with the farmer about raw milk, and he told me something that I thought was very interesting. And he said that because their milk is raw, they were held to a higher standard of cleanliness at their dairy than the standard dairy where your other pasteurized milk comes from. So I said that every single batch of their milk had to be tested to make sure it did not have any of the bad bacterial strains like E. coli. And he said, so they were held to these very strict standards because they had to make sure that the dairy was incredibly clean and that the milk was safe. And it was so easy for them to lose their license to sell the milk. He said, unlike your standard dairies where they were not held to the same level of cleanliness. And the reason for this is because they knew they were going to nuke the milk. They knew they were going to boil it to a high temperature and kill whatever is in the milk, good or bad. So it just kind of made me think like, so your standard milk that you're going to get in the shop, I mean, that's actually coming from a dairy that is probably not as clean because their levels of cleanliness don't have to be as high because the milk is going to be boiled. So I just thought that was very interesting. Another thing I also came across is that I can't remember where I read it, but where it stated that, where people are like, oh, they're scared to have raw milk because what if you get sick? But like I said, if you're getting it from a reputable source, then there shouldn't be any problem. But from what I read is that you have got as much chance of getting sick from raw milk as what you do from getting food poisoning from an average restaurant. So it's the same thing. If you're going to go eat out, are you going to go to a dirty looking place that has likely got a really disgusting kitchen? And chances are, no, you're not. And it's the same. So if you're going to get raw milk, you're not going to go to a really bad looking place that isn't, doesn't have any cleanliness to it. You're going to go to a place that is going to be reputable. And one thing you can do, I mean, if you're looking for raw milk, like what I did, I Googled and I had a look-see. In Ireland, there is actually a page that lists a whole lot of places where you can get raw milk from. These dairies and these farms are registered here. So you know that they are under scrutiny to make sure that they are sticking to the right levels to make sure that their milk is safe to consume. Because as well, they do not want to risk raw milk being made illegal. So they need to make sure that they do a good job with maintaining healthy milk. And they also don't want to get a bad reputation within the industry. I know that raw milk isn't legal in some places. In South Africa, it's legal. In Ireland, it's legal. I know that in America, in some states it's legal, some states it's not. So, depending on where you are, if you can get it or not, it's something you need to look up for yourself. But for myself personally, I absolutely love my raw milk. And if you can get organic raw milk, then that is even better. So I now have my raw milk for the week. I'll be leaving the farm now, heading on home. I will be taking what I consider the scenic route home, which is on the back roads, because going through town at this time of day can be a bit hectic with a lot of the schools coming out. And in addition to that, it is a beautiful day outside, beautiful blue sky. Haven't had too much of that for a while. So let's get out of here, shall we? Right, so I'm now back home. I've got my raw milk for the week. But because raw milk is unpasteurized, it does need to be refrigerated as soon as possible, which is also why when I do collect the raw milk, I make sure that I've put ice blocks into the bag to keep the milk cold. So I'm just going to pack it away now, and then I'm going to enjoy a nice cold glass of creamy raw milk. So if you go online and you Google raw milk, the chances are you're going to come across a lot of web pages that are anti-raw milk. And also you'll come across pages that will try and debunk a lot of the benefits that are claimed with raw milk. It's up to you. I mean, what you're going to believe is up to you. What you want to try is up to you. But for me, like I said, I've been consuming raw milk for about 12 years now. I've never once been sick from it. And yeah, I mean, I just think that there's a lot of benefits that is what I do for my health. I'm very happy with that. I don't like to drink normal milk. I mean, I will have it in my tea and coffee, but I just don't like to have it to drink a glass of normal milk on its own because I just don't see any benefit to it. So yeah, so let's just have a look at some of these, like one of these websites here, that says the benefits of raw milk. Somewhere here. Right, come on, where is it? All right, so it's not pasteurized. Yes, we know that. All right, so this website says that the raw milk is packed with key nutrients that are beneficial to the body, including probiotics, raw fats, vitamin B12, vitamin B6, carotenoids, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, and iron, as well as omega-3 fatty acids, conjugated linoleic acid, vitamin K, and a number of digestive enzymes. Yeah, so that does sound pretty good. As I said before, it's good for gut health because it is a probiotic. It's a natural probiotic, so it's got the good bacteria that's in it. It's also if you are taking antibiotics, or if I'm taking antibiotics, which I really hate to do, but I have had to on the odd occasion, I will drink raw milk to try and replace the good bacteria that has been killed off by the antibiotics. Yeah, so some of the benefits of raw milk, again, you're going to come across some websites that are saying like, oh, this isn't true, but other than saying it's not true, I haven't actually seen anything to say why it's not true. I suppose the same thing could be said of, the benefits of raw milk. Is it true or not? It's going to depend on each person as an individual. Some people might notice a difference of, like some of these benefits. Yeah, they'll notice like, health of the skin, like they'll notice their skin's better and things like that. Other people won't notice anything. I mean, personally for me, I don't notice much. A lot of the stuff I do, I don't notice too much, going on, too many good changes, bad changes, whatever. But I continue to move forward with the things that I do, because it's not just about what you see or what you notice. It's just knowing it is doing your body some good. So I just keep on with it. So let's have a look here what they say. The benefits of raw milk. So benefits include its ability to reduce allergic reactions, improve the health of the skin, strengthen the immune system, boost digestive health, promote weight loss, and increase bone density, among others. Yeah, so you might be thinking the weight loss one is quite interesting, but just remember everything in moderation. So I love my raw milk. I do tend to drink quite a lot of it, but because it can give you a sense of fullness, you might not eat as much, but at the same time, you also must just be careful about not consuming too much. Again, as with everything, everything in moderation. So yeah, it carries on skincare, where it says a good amount of carotenoids and omega-3 fatty acids. Raw milk can help to boost the appearance of your skin by reducing oxidative stress and inflammation, which can minimize the appearance of wrinkles and blemishes. So I hope that is true. Like I said, I've been consuming it for 12 years. I am getting older. I do notice I get some crow's feet. I do have some lines under my eyes. Also here, it's just one of those things. But maybe my skin would be worse off if I wasn't consuming it, and it's something I wouldn't know unless I were to stop consuming it. So I don't want to give that a try. I'm just going to keep having it, if for no other reason. I just like the taste of it. I just think raw milk tastes better than your standard pasteurized milk. Right, so it goes on to say aids in digestion. Probiotics found in untreated milk can help optimize the bacterial balance in your gut. And digestive enzymes can improve your nutrient uptake efficiency. Weight loss. So let's see, the density of nutrients and minerals make an ideal complement to weight loss diet, as your body won't be experiencing any lack of nutrients. So there we go. If you were wondering how does raw milk help with weight loss, there you have it. Okay, so it also says it improves bone density. And it's also been shown to optimize the immune system and reduce the severity of allergic reactions throughout the body. Now, I have also read elsewhere that children who have grown up drinking raw milk also have less sicknesses because their immune system is healthier, as well as children who grow up in raw milk. There are fewer of them who have certain ailments such as asthma. Also, yeah, so raw milk uses, it talks about making cheese and yogurt and things like that. There is a shop not too far, but it can be a pain in the backside to get to, purely because of traffic, that sells raw milk cheese. So when I can, I'll go there, and I'd rather buy raw milk cheese from them. And something else that's very interesting about raw milk is that it actually becomes healthy. Like when milk is sour, we will throw it away. Whereas with raw milk, when it starts going sour, it actually becomes more healthy. It's building up more good bacteria, and eventually, like your raw milk will sour and become kefir. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard of kefir before. You will buy it in the shops as well, and can use it as a yogurt and things like that. So that's the one thing I do like. Like if I buy regular milk and I can taste it's going off, I'll throw it away. Whereas if I can taste that the raw milk is starting to go off, sometimes like I will go every Friday to buy raw milk, maybe on the Thursday, or even if on the Friday morning there will be a little bit of raw milk left and I need to finish it before I go buy the fresh batch. And I will taste it's starting to go sour. I'll drink it anyway because I actually know it's better. It's getting better or healthier. So yeah, I mean, it's not for everyone. Some people will be like, oh, they won't like it, but that's fine for me. Obviously, I do have my limits. I mean, if it's like getting really sour, then I will struggle with it. But if I can taste it's just turning, that's fine. I'll carry on with it. Right. So what else does it say? The difference between raw milk and unpasteurized milk, obviously we know what that is. One is boiled and the other one is natural. So it says that while raw milk may have a higher bacterial level than pasteurized milk, it also contains certain enzymes and nutrients that may be lost during the pasteurization process. Yeah, which we know, which is true. I've also read somewhere that raw milk, because of all of the goodness that's contained in it, it's actually like its own food group that you could actually live on raw milk for quite a long time because it's got so much goodness in it. So yeah, talking about the risks of it, so it may contain bacteria like E. coli, Listeria, and Salmonella. Again, that is something that you're at risk of anyway in your own home. Is also, and you're even more so at risk of it eating out at a restaurant. You don't know what they're doing in the kitchen. Are they cleaning the surfaces properly? Are they chopping up vegetables on top of a cutting board that they just cut raw chicken on? Things like that. So it can cause things such as nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, stomach pain. Again, your standard food poisoning kind of symptoms. It says there have been roughly 1,000 cases of illnesses directly linked to drinking raw milk in the past 20 years, but there have been no reported deaths. So, I mean, 1,000 cases in the past 20 years, that's actually not too bad. I wonder what the same statistic is for your standard food poisoning. I've never had food poisoning before. I don't intend to. Well, not that I know of, but I haven't also been poisoned by raw milk either. So yeah, there's very interesting information. I'm sold on it. I mean, after 12 years, I'm most certainly not going to be changing anything. If I were to come across a bad batch, that's not going to be enough to put me off. Because I also, if I were to get sick with food poisoning or raw milk poisoning, I would, I've got a protocol. What do I take if I've got gastro and those sort of things? I've got some products that I'll take for that, so that's fine. And yeah, you can't just write something off generally because of one bad time. I know sometimes we can, in the sense of you don't want to go back to a certain restaurant. If you're worried about, if I were to get milk from a certain place, and something were to go wrong, I would contact them and let them know, and I would need to decide if I would try and find another supplier somewhere. But raw milk can be difficult to get hold of, so not likely. But yeah, I'm just going to keep up with that for now. So yeah, it's something that is now it's a regular part of my life. Going to the dairy every week is a regular part of my life. I'm very happy to do it because I know that by serving my family raw milk, my kids, my husband, that I'm doing something good for all of us. And it's building up our body. It's giving our body the nutrients that it needs, and that we're going to keep having it. We're going to, as long as we're able to, we're going to keep consuming raw milk. Personally, I think that raw milk has probably been demonized a bit, is because governments are scared for people's health, in the sense that a lot of milk is consumed, so it's a huge production process, and it can be very difficult to ensure that all the milk that goes out there is safe for consumption. So they would rather just pasteurize it and be done with it. But yeah, I mean, if you're doing it in small kind of quantities, it's so much easier to make sure that the milk is safe. That's why it's nice if you can find a local dairy and whatnot that you trust. like what I've done. And also, that they actually care for the cows. In South Africa, the farmers that I used to get the raw milk from, they love their cows. They name their cows. If you look them up on Facebook, and they had pictures of their cows, and they would refer to them as their girls. Like, our girls are doing great today. Whatnot. It was actually very lovely to see. Yeah, so it's just important that you kind of formulate your own ideas and your own thoughts on something. It doesn't mean you have to try it. If you're too scared to, that's fine, because I'm not recommending you to drink it. I'm not making any recommendations towards raw milk. All I want to do is just try and get you to think for yourself about, if you're against it, do you even know why you're against it? If you do, that's great. And some people might be like, no, I don't know why. I've just heard that it's bad and it's dangerous. And there can be an actual fear about it. Like, if you're drinking raw milk, you're poisoning yourself. Like, no, you got to realize why they say it can be bad. It's only because you could get it coming from an unclean, unhygienic farm that doesn't, look after cleanliness the way they should. But like I said, in this day and age, because there are so few farmers that do it, that they are held up to a high standard in order to keep doing it. So yeah, I'm just going to end with that. So that's one of the things I do for my health, is I enjoy a nice glass of raw milk, nice and creamy. Doesn't this look so divine? First thing I do when I get back from the farm, I pack the milk away. That's the other thing. Raw milk needs to stay cold. So when I go to the farm, I will make sure that I pack it with cold bricks inside the cooler bag. The moment I get home, and like head straight home. Do not stop, go. Do not collect 200. Don't go to the shops. Don't get anywhere else. Go straight home. Put it into your fridge. Keep it cold. It needs to obviously be kept cold. You do not want you don't want bad bacteria to grow up in it. So yeah, and then when I get home, pack it in the fridge, and then I'll always have a nice cold glass of raw milk. Give it a good shake. I love the fact that raw milk gets the nice cream on top. Give it a nice shake up, and then I enjoy it. So yeah, so hopefully this is doing good for my skin that I don't even know about, that I don't even realize to appreciate. Thank you, raw milk, and I will see you in the next episode. So I hope you enjoy this. If you've got any questions or anything like that, please just leave comments in the comment section. I'll read it. I'll get back to you. And thanks everyone for watching.